What's up, guys? Elijah Scheidler here, owner and supervising broker of Venue Real Estate. And I haven't got to post my Friday video for a while due to being out in the community, building thriving community, building business, and haven't had time for an extra video in the week. But I had an amazing experience at showing a property with a client, and I had to jump on to make a video for you. In real estate, like to keep a separation between sellers and buyers and then have those relationships brokered by real estate agents. The seller, though, had stayed at the property and I was previewing it for my buyers, and he came over to say hi, and we started trading facts about the property, asking questions, and finally settled into a conversation that was just oriented towards life. The seller has been very successful in business, owns a number of different revenue streams across the Western United States, and is very knowledgeable in the area of business. Now, as having started my business recently, I asked him, as being a more experienced businessman in the area, what advice he would give to someone who is just starting out. You cannot pay for this kind of input. I got it for free, which is why I'm so honored. He gave me 1 point and a 3-step process, and I think I'll carry them forward with me for the rest of my life. His first point was, don't be afraid to fail. Very early success in a person's ownership in business can hamstring forward success in the future. That as a result of things coming quickly and this explosiveness of success, that then down the road when you run into difficulty or failures or crisis, which is often the case within business, you don't know how to handle those things. You don't know what your limits are. You don't know how to get creative within a context of few resources. So number one, his advice to me was, don't be afraid to fail. And failing early on, he said it will be foundational to your business moving forward to know where your limits are, that you've hit rock bottom and you know how to build upwards from there. Point number one, don't be afraid to fail. Then he gave me a 3-step process, which was so instructive for my life and the generation that I grew up in. Number one, he said, you have to start out working with your hands. He said, as you learn to work hard with your hands, you're in the trenches, digging with a shovel, sweating it out with other people. He said, number one, you're gonna learn how to persevere and work hard, not to be afraid of a challenge. And that number two, in that context of hands-on experiences, it's gonna give you credibility moving forward, that as you make decisions as a leader, that your employees, that your followers know that the decisions that you're making are done so with the blood, sweat, and sacrifice of having walked the path that your followers are on. Out of that, though, he said, working hard is not where you want to stay as a business owner. Lots of people are self-employed, but very few people actually have a business. Self-employed people have a very large job, but business owners create successful structures that run the company, and then their employees manage the structures. So he said, while working hard is a good beginning, that's not where you want to stop. First, you want to work hard with your hands. Next, you want to engage your brain and start working smart. Work smarter, not harder. In that context, then, it's not just a matter of becoming more efficient and more effective in your work, working smarter, not harder, but he said also in that context of hands-on experiences, working hard also gives you a context for innovation. Experience and hands-on labor is the seedbed for innovation moving forward. Therefore, as you work smarter, not harder, you also then gain the intelligence and the capacity to imagine and envision, ideate within expansion of what you've been working hard at to help grow forward. So work with your hands, work with your brain. And then he said, those two are great, but don't stop there. After that, engage your heart. He said he's seen so many people work hard all of their lives and not work smart, not grow forward and innovate, and to then create structures to help everybody to be more efficient and effective in their goals. But then he said that he's seen people who have worked really hard, they work really smart, they innovate and they move forward, but they, while working smart, never engage their heart. At that last step, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I want in my life? What is my dream? And then how do I motivate? How do I position all of this foundational effort in working hard, working smart to drive forward in achieving the desires that I have at a heart level? Now, I really appreciated that he pressed into my generation. I was born in 1980, and as being a younger generation who had a lot of things given to me by my parents of affluence, having come off of their parents, of being the boomer generation, and that merged generational wealth into their hands, that they did better than their parents did coming out of the Depression. And therefore, when I grew up in that context, so many things were given to me that were not given to my parents by an older generation. As a result of that, our heart's desires were never challenged. That often we weren't required to work harder and work smarter and then engage our hearts, that our heart's desires were just met with very little effort. So his encouragement, his press in, which I so appreciate from him, was that he said that very often we start from a place of our heart. What are the things that I want? What are the things that I feel deeply about? But I haven't had the experience to know the things that I should consider, that I should work smart on. And then when things get really hard, that I very often fault out because it's like, man, this isn't what I wanted. This doesn't feel good. And therefore I just jump from thing to thing to thing to thing, and I don't stick it out. I love that as him being an older generation, just down the path from me and demonstrating ample proof of his success in business, that he would step in so intentionally to help me be successful in my life. Friends, this has been such a wonderful beginning, starting Venue Real Estate with you here in the Bozeman community, seeking to build thriving community by brokering properties through collaborative commerce. It has been a hard journey. I've learned hard things about myself and experienced things that I didn't know. I'm getting smarter, and it's helping refine the momentum of everything I'm building towards obtaining my heart's desire of building thriving community. If you want to hear more experiences of my conversation with them or just hang out and chat, I'd love to hang out with you. Reach out to me at the contact information provided at the end of this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.
We'll be right back.